Rain or shine, it's here to make you laugh. It's the Steamboat Comedy Podcast. It's the Steamboat Comedy Podcast. And now your host, Kyle Ruff.
We live?
You know what? I think we are. Welcome to the Steamboat Comedy Podcast, everybody. I'm your host, yet again, Kyle Ruff, and I'm joined by some special guests here. We have the star of last night's Winter Comedy Series show at Schmiggity's, Mr. Robbie the Fire Bernstein.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. And I just want to say, when you said special, it's because Jessica's retarded, not me.
Right.
I just want to make that clear for the listeners.
I dropped the education part, but
Yeah.
I figured it was implied.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that everyone knows that she's the special one, which is why we were going to have her on tonight.
Absolutely, which brings us to the next guest,
Hello.
Jessica, the
Hello.
Forrest Mommy.
Forrest Mommy, that's who I am.
Nice.
Or Jessica.
Or Jessica.
Make it a real sultry right off the top.
Nice.
By the
Well,
way, this glass has a great clank to it. Like,
Oh,
the
yeah.
way the ridges are in there, you get a lot of clanking. I feel like I'm begging for change.
whiskey for the poor. Yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah, you just go out with ice cubes into the
He's like,
street.
Please, it's melting. Please, sir. Quickly now. Well, all right, yeah. So we've just been hanging out all weekend, and I wanted to just chat with you guys, see how your Steamboat experience has been.
I love your podcast studio because I also podcast from my apartment, and I didn't realize that someone else had a studio with more cum in it. So I thought I actually had the lockdown on podcast studio that smelled most like cum. Yeah, but you clearly have me beat. And yours is a bleachier scent.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, what are you eating to get that bleachy, cleansy flavor?
nothing good, man.
That bleach thing, that's real. That's real. Like the
Doug
smell.
Stan, you ever hear Doug Stanhope had the best joke about that? The greatest joke.
Oh,
I'll
it's
tell you.
smelling bleachy.
It's an old school joke. It's like a perfect one-liner. He goes, "You know why cum tastes like bleach? So after you jizz in a lady's mouth, she remembers to clean the kitchen." I don't know that he delivered. I made it like more of a Borscht Belt joke, but that's. I remember I had this. When I was a yeshiva guy. I did years of Jew school.
Jew school.
And so I once went, when I was still in the yeshiva system, I went swimming, and I left like the my bathing suit in the closet, and my roommate came back and goes, "Why does the room smell like cum?" And I was like, "I thought only my cum was bleachy." Like I didn't realize it was like a universal thing because I never had a conversation with anyone.
They didn't teach that in Jew school.
Is anyone's like cum more or less bleachy?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. There's some that's like, wow, that smells like bleach. Like, it's literally like spot on, just
Right.
like bleach.
But is it ever like is it like an acquired taste of like that's
Bleach?
like refreshingly bleachy?
I like the no drip bleach, personally.
Okay.
No,
Wait.
I'm just kidding.
Wait, no drip. What are we talking about here?
Have
again?
you ever had and if this is too much, you can cut us off. But
No,
have you
we're
ever had
here. Let's do it.
have you ever had cum that you're like that's particularly good, or cum that you're like, oh my god, that can
Yeah, it's all different.
right?
Yeah, some are good, some are bad.
God, we finally get a woman on the podcast.
How do you handle
Right away about cum.
Right away.
Robbie's on, so it's about
Just
cum.
like-
if
Yeah.
you have bad cum? Because here's my move: I would try and make out with the person right away to try and make them aware of like when
After
they're-
you came in their mouth?
I mean, that's what I do with gay men when I'm coming in a gay guy's mouth.
I thought
No,
you
I'm
just
saying-
fished
Gonna
it out.
taste. I thought you might like come in her mouth and then get a quick taste right away after she swallows.
No, I don't know what my cum. I have no reference for my cum tastes like whatsoever.
Yeah, I could go ahead and just die not knowing that.
Yeah,
That'd
I'm
be
good
fine.
with not knowing. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I
There's
knew-
been a little spittle that's made it in your mouth.
I've
hasn't there?
never
think so.
tasted my
Never.
cum.
No?
The only time I've come
Dang.
close was one time I was jerking off and I somehow popped a load so much it actually got on my own face. Because
That's hot.
I can shoot a load.
You
Let me
shoot-
tell you.
I can
Let me
shoot
tell
a-
you.
Can't shoot a basketball. He's
I take
Jew,
a couple
but-
days off. I can launch something, hit the roof. But I don't even think I tasted it. Like I think I pretty instantly was like, "Ugh."
Did it get in your eye?
No, definitely
That's
didn't
the
get on my eye.
worst.
Really?
Because they're moving around in your eye.
Oh, they're like trying
Swimming
to
around.
invade.
Yes, you're like,
they're like
ugh.
looking for an egg.
Yeah,
trying
they're
to get through.
They're alive and squiggling around in there.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All the thrills of taking loads in the mouth.
I knew
What's-
a friend of mine, literally
Yeah.
was like, "Well, you guys never eat your own cum," and we're like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "I used to just eat it for fun."
I got another
And we're
question
like,
for you.
"What?"
The worst load you've ever tasted in your mouth, is that it's overly bleachy or has some other non-distinct flavor?
Acidic, maybe a little citrus.
It wasn't
in there?
overly bleach. It was just like funky tasting, like
Right.
grody.
Feel like you got fish in your dick? Like,
Yeah, what the hell have you
yeah,
been
like what
eating?
is going on in there?
They're
Yeah.
smoking. Maybe it's like meth dick. No, just kidding. I haven't blown a meth guy before.
He's got meth
Never
juice.
You just
too
wanna-
late
you-
to start.
Yeah, right after you take the load, you just want to go for a run.
All of a sudden, you're just cleaning your apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're addicted. You're like, you gotta come back.
Yeah, right. Anyway, I can get more of that jizz. Is that how it works? I need to start smoking.
Yeah, wait,
meth.
this isn't actually like a good idea all of a sudden.
Yeah.
now.
Suddenly, I'm like, is this how I get girls to stay? Is that
You get them hooked on your jizz.
on
Yeah.
my meth jizz?
Yeah.
This is a $1 million idea.
Yeah, I guess if you dip your dick in some meth, you might. Oh, and by
Like
the
a
way,
fun dip.
yeah,
You know?
and then she might lose
Lick
her
it
teeth, which
first.
makes for a
Yeah.
better mouth.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, baby.
All right, I kind of took over the show. I don't know what you do on
Yeah.
your podcast.
Sorry, Mom, if you were listening. we went pretty jizz heavy there. in the
I'm not
beginning.
sorry.
No, she's used to it. She's a disappointed mom.
What's the best tasting jizz you've ever tasted? Where you're like, what? Like
The
you're
best
like,
tasting that has like no taste. It's
it's just fine.
yeah. It's
I
Okay.
thought it isn't all the rage is you gotta eat
the
pineapple.
pineapple juice. Girls too, by the way. I don't know. Like I don't know what it helps or if it doesn't make it like it supposedly makes it sweeter. Whatever. I don't know. It's always worth a shot.
Hey, I see
I
what you
drink-
did there.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, well, it happens to me too. You know what I mean? So, talking about how the shows went this weekend.
I had a great time.
Yeah, we had so 2 nights, Friday and Saturday, our standard operating procedure around here. Had good turnout, both shows. I thought pretty decent. Yeah, what were your thoughts on the Steamboat crowds?
I had a lot of fun. I mean, I dipped into dangerous territory and people were on board. I think it helps that a couple meat cocks showed up and they're filling the room with laughter. So
That's
like,
true.
I do think that helps where like the other people are like, oh, you can laugh at this. So
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's not even so much that it's like people are offended. It's more people are like nervous. Like, is this okay if I
Yeah.
laugh at this in public? Will someone
no,
judge
but the
me?
vibe, like people are coming out to have fun. Like I've gone to comedy shows where it's like the 7 p.m. and it's like all like these like 40 like to fit, and I'm like, I know you're not gonna like me. Like
Yeah.
I just know like I'm gonna be too much. Like I can just look at you and be like, we're not supposed to be, or it's like a room of just hot chicks, and you're like, I wouldn't make good conversation with you at a party. Like, of course you're not gonna like what I did. Like, I'm not for you. Like, we're not friends. You know what I mean? Like, if we were hanging out in a party, we would be on opposite corners of the room. But I felt like the crowds here, they're on board, they're supportive, like they're interested in comedy. They almost like, I mean, not to be too douchey, they almost like the art of it. They're like, oh, these guys are having fun. The locals are experimenting.
Yeah.
Like, it's a cool room.
We got a good little supportive thing going on here, and even if we don't have like the same people come back all the time, I know that like we got a good reputation, especially like concierge and stuff like that. So
Right.
tourists come through like, what do we do tonight? And they're like, oh, like everyone loves this comedy thing that's going on here.
I do a
So
lot
it's
of
going well.
comedy where it's like dance monkey dance, and by that I mean it's like every 30 seconds, if you haven't hit them, you might lose that room, and like you really don't have space.
Yeah.
Your room was I was able to really kind of slow it down and like find grooves and like just kind of hang out, which was a lot of fun. I don't normally get to do comedy like that.
Right. Yeah, it's nice. I feel like it's tell me if you agree, but I feel like the more you pay for a ticket, the more people are going to be willing to just
No, I
shut
think
up
that's a
and
big
listen.
variable that people
Yeah.
are invested in it, and
If someone
so
throws $5, they're like, whatever, I'll just have
Right.
pay attention.
yeah, and then like it's like happy hour, so they're drinking and they're like, fuck you, and like that becomes part of the show.
Yeah.
Versus if someone actually bought a ticket, then they're sitting there like, oh, I paid for this, like it's a thing.
Like, I'm going to see the show.
Yeah.
Like you're seeing a movie. That's always the thing with like venues too. You go to book like a new venue and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll just have you do comedy. We'll have drinks going in a bar
Right.
and this." And I'm like, "Nope, I'm not gonna do that."
I've gotten a little sick of that where you have to police a room to make it good for comedy.
Right. I mean, I just tell all these guys. Well, I mean, obviously open mics and shit, you're just gonna have to fucking
Yeah.
make it work. But if someone like wants to do a show and I can tell that they're treating it like a band, I'm like, no, this needs to be more like a movie theater than
Right.
a band. We need people who will sit and shut the fuck up and pay attention and then they can leave when the show's over. Like none of this. Like it's not background noise like a fucking ska band or some shitty white reggae dude. This is what we have here.
No,
So-
it kind of sucks
ska
about.
bands up here still.
I don't know. I guess not ska.
It
I mean, I hope
kinda-
so. We need some mighty boss stones up here.
It kind of like that part almost kind of sucks about because I mean I've done comedy in the worst environments and like sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not, but like at its best it does require a good room.
Yeah.
Which like there is a part of that because like you'd like to think, hey, we're telling dick jokes, we're talking shit. This is exactly the way I behave, and like you don't need any of those elements, but it's just not the way it is.
Right.
It's like if you set a room up nicely. For example, I once saw, you guys know who Ron Carter is?
Ron Carter?
So
yeah, he was
he's-
one of the Backstreet Boys, right?
He's the I think the most recorded jazz bass player of all time.
Really?
And he was the bass player for Miles Davis on some of like those in the world of jazz. Ron Carter's a big name. I went with my dad once to see. I've seen Ron Carter twice in New York City at like good jazz clubs.
Sweet.
One of the times I saw him at Birdland, and he was playing with a string quartet. And I showed up to the show, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna kind of be like that's not what I was expecting." Because like I mean, he's done some of the best jazz fusion of all time. And then you see him with the string quartet, you're like, "Oh, this is gonna be a kind of lame."
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like my dad put it back. It was like unbelievable. It was but it worked in that room. Like if you were to put the
just
Rolling
do that.
Stones in that jazz room, it would have been too much. If you
Right.
were to take Ron Carter and put them into Giant Stadium, what he's doing, which was the most beautiful thing I've ever, like, it just wouldn't work.
Absolutely.
And comedy's a little bit like that too, where it's like sometimes like if you're like fucking getting hammered and just talking shit like a Joey Diaz type thing,
Right.
you can put that up into a rowdy room and it's gonna work amazing.
Right.
For some other people, you do need like a quiet environment with the candles, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that's
absolutely.
what. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's so many things translate that. I was even just thinking, like, even within just one medium, like movies. Like, you ever go see a drive-in movie?
I haven't.
So I saw a couple when I was young, but you can't just like put any movie in a drive-in movie theater. You need
almost
like a
need,
popcorn
big, like a
thing.
monster film.
Yeah, like a you know, like you can't watch like There Will Be Blood at a fucking drive-in movie theater. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just like it's not even just like comedy versus one thing. It's just whatever that niche is. The room makes such a difference.
I feel like
for
the
sure.
thrill of a drive-in movie theater is just being retarded in your car. Like doing crack and just getting your dick sucked.
Yeah, well, I was about to
Like-
say that's most of it is teenagers who
all
are trying to
about
get
the
hand
crack.
jobs and stuff.
All about the crack. All the time.
I've never gone to. I'd love to go to a drive-in movie. I've never done
They
that.
made a bit of a comeback. I know there's ones around Detroit still.
There was one in Denver at Hamden and Santa Fe for the longest time,
Yeah.
but then they eventually tore it down. And
I mean, it's pretty. You get to hang out in your car.
Yeah.
You get the script. Like it's
sneak
kind
all
of
the snacks in you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no rule
You can
on
drink,
snacks.
you can smoke, you can do whatever you want.
Get into an accident on the ride home.
Yeah, you can literally just bang. You can
Yeah.
just bang each other in the movie theater, but it's your car.
There's your car.
It's great. Which
Yeah.
is what I did when I was in middle school, and I didn't.
No car fucking in middle school. That's okay. That's probably a good thing.
No, I was just beating it left and right. That's
In the
all.
car,
Oh God, yeah.
you would go out
My
to the
family
car
was pissed.
to jerk off.
They're like, why does the car smell like bleach? Damn it.
I used to take long showers, and I feel like your parents just know.
Oh, they know.
Yeah, they know.
I
And
just
for boys, they don't care. They're like, whatever. But if you catch a girl masturbating, it's
What you
like,
think that's
Oh, I know.
what your parents got?
Well, that's just there's a whole double standard.
yeah,
with
talking
it.
to my
There's a
phone.
double standard with it.
Okay.
That's all. We
One
don't
of
need to go into it, but
One of the
there's
worst.
a double standard.
I had a terrible moment with my mom. My like a very Jewish religious family,
Yeah.
and you got the Passover Seder, which is like, so I don't even remember how old I was. Maybe I was 20 or 19 or something. My mom like comes up to me in like the middle. I mean, there's like 30 people. My mom does it big. Like the whole family's there. Walks up to me, goes, "You have to go up to the bathroom and clean it up right now." And I just look at my mom. I was like, "What's going on?" Right? And I go up to the bathroom, and there's what looks like a giant puddle of jizz, like right in the middle of the bathroom floor. And I'm like, I didn't I was like, well,
That's not my jizz, I swear.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't just jerk off onto the floor. I'm not like turned on by tile. I didn't like go into exactly. And then I look and it's like right out of a detective movie. There's like literally a pump thing of shampoo right there, and I'm like, that's the shampoo. But I was like, I wasn't gonna go back down to the table and be like, Mom, it's shampoo. What the fuck, Mom?
My cum?
Yeah, exactly.
Mom, someone framed me. I swear.
I just cleaned it up and said nothing. But the trail of what happened, that means one of my sisters went into the bathroom, decided that I jerked off onto the floor, went to tell my mom. My mom then came up to me in the middle of the thing, and I'm not cool. Like, not that like me and my mom get, well, like we're not cool. My mom's not like a cool mom.
Not cool.
No, my mom is not a cool mom. That was a terrible moment. Yeah.
Awkward.
Very awkward.
Oh boy.
To this day, I still want to be like, Mom, that wasn't my cum.
You never cleared the air on it?
No, I didn't say a
You
thing.
just took it, huh?
I cleaned it up. I sat back down at that table and drank wine in silence.
When she's on her deathbed, which is hopefully a very long time
Let her
from now,
know.
you should tell her.
You're like, Mom, remember that Passover Seder in 2022?
It was shampoo, Ma. It was shampoo. And then she just like, you're a liar. And she dies. It's okay, Robbie. I'm gone now. You can jerk off all you want.
Yeah.
It's her parting words of wisdom. How many siblings do you have?
I got a older and younger sister.
One older, one younger?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're both dykes. That's fine.
I like the qualifier. You're like, they're dykes. Just kidding. They're fine. Like, they could be both
they're
or
normal.
neither.
They're normal people. They love cocks.
Okay,
I've addressed it with them.
They like a good bleachy load from time to time. What about you, Jess? How many siblings you got?
I'm the youngest of 4.
Youngest of 4.
I know, shocker, I'm the baby. I
Yeah,
know.
baby.
Yeah.
What's
By
the
a
age?
lot, too. My 2 sisters are 10 years older than me and 9 years older than me. My brother's 5 years older than me. But they're all Gen X, and I'm the only millennial. And I was the best fucking kid. They'll never admit it,
Okay.
but I was the best fucking kid.
Why were you the best?
I've borrowed the least amount of money. I was on my own youngest. I was out of the fucking house the youngest. So that's my criteria of why I'm the best. But
I got you.
that's all. And I'm the cutest. So.
Obviously.
But your other siblings are still walking in the path of the Lord.
Yeah, I'm the only non.
They're good Jesus people.
Well, yeah, and
Well, when they
you
need
know
to
when
borrow
they
money from your parents, they are.
that or like when, on the surface. You know, like it's funny when you grow up in that because like people act one way at church and
Right.
then at home, and you're like, you're full of shit. That's why like some of these like more trad conservatives, I'm like, y'all are full of shit. I know you go home and like. Anyways,
I was just watching an episode of The Righteous Gemstones before you guys
That show's
came in.
great. That's
It's
the best
so
show on TV
good,
right now.
dude. Have you seen it?
I've seen it.
Yeah. I just reminded me of that. Yeah, they're all like in the eyes of the Lord, and they're at church. They're doing great, and then they go home and just
Beat
start
their
fucking
wives
beat their
and beat their
wives, and fucking do
kids.
coke and bang hookers and shit.
Well, my parents didn't do coke. That would have been probably bad for me. Just kidding.
Oh, so okay, so
It's
Jess,
got to be awkward if you're a wife beater. Because, like, the next night,
you're a
you're
white
like,
tank top, you mean?
no, it's like if you beat the shit out of your wife and then the next night you want to have sex with her and you're like, honey, like, you need some makeup. This looks terrible.
Oh,
Like,
you can't go out like
yeah.
this.
it's
Look
like
at
you want to beat somebody else's wife. Like, you almost want a secondary wife.
Or
that,
the kids. That's what you have the kids
Yeah, that's
for.
why
Yeah,
you
the
beat
kid,
the
because you're not
kids.
going to fuck your own kids. So if they got a shiner, it's whoever their boyfriend's problem.
Or you can hide it and be like, yeah, they fell down the stairs again.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
these clumsy ass kids playing sports and stuff.
Yeah, you got to at least be wealthy for a 2-story house if you're going to beat your wife or kids.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you can't not have stairs.
Yeah, if you don't have stairs, then it's like all of your excuses are gone.
Yeah, you need to like just have ice in the yard.
It's gotta constantly just be like watering down the front yard. Like, wow, it sure is icy. Better not slip, honey.
Oh, God.
But no, so for the listeners, they're probably like, who is this? Well, they know Robbie. This is your 3rd time on the Steamboat Comedy Podcast.
I've done 3.
You did the first
was
one, you were here, and then we
right?
did a Zoom one together over
Okay.
COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What's up?
Yeah, I'm
What's
back.
up, listeners?
Number 3, but the Forrest Mommy herself. Tell us a little bit. So you're a Twitter celebrity, no big
I'm
deal.
I'm a celebritarian, actually. No, just kidding.
Celebritarian.
Just kidding.
Don't
That's what
ever
they
say
said.
that again.
I know. That's what someone said at the Funkhauser said that the convention or whatever. I'm like, oh my God.
Also,
yeah.
I mean, the listeners mostly know I've talked about it, but like I do a lot of events. This is not like a political podcast, but I do a lot of political stuff with the Libertarian
Outside of it.
Party.
'Cause we're cool.
Because we're the fucking best, and we're gonna change the world, baby. That's
At
45
least Colorado.
people just turned this podcast off, but it's fine. But so
We're
yeah.
basically the least autistic amongst a community of autistic people.
Oh, so
That's
bad.
it.
I've told the stories of like, God, that show I did in California was so fucking weird. That's the weirdest crew ever.
It was a libertarian thing.
It was the Libertarian 50th anniversary
Oh, in California?
in Fresno.
Oh, because they had one out here. They had 2 out here.
Yeah, I mean, like it was for everybody, and like each state kind of did their own thing. But Angela was there, so Angela invited me out. Who
I love Angela.
She's soon to be the chair of the party, and she called me up and was like, "Come out and do this." And it was, and I was like, "Yeah, right on." I had no idea what to expect, and it was just like a conference room. And I was just standing against a wall. And there's probably maybe 50, maybe top 60 people there.
Right.
But they were everyone just had dinner and they were just sitting at tables. But it was there was some young people in the back, but it was a lot of just old fucking weirdos. Yeah, lifelong
Not
party
cool
members.
weirdos like us.
Not
They're
cool weirdos
Weird
like us.
weirdos.
But it was just the weirdest fucking vibes. But we powered through. Had a good time. So, but then the next day, I did the show with you in Denver with a fucking giant
that was
ass
great.
room. Yeah, and you were there too. Yeah,
That was a great show.
Yeah, it was amazing. That was such oh, there is a reason why I associate with these people. Was that show? I pretty much saved
People
it.
needed it too because Comedy Works was the first one to put in the fucking vax thing, right?
Yep.
And then so I know I hadn't seen comedy since January 2020, so that was the
I
first
felt
show
like that
I
was
saw.
one of the coolest things about the early iterations of Porch Tour and the house gigs.
Yeah.
Was that some people were coming out that hadn't left their house in 6 months because in the heart of COVID, I was putting together events, and part of it were people were happy to come out and the shows were good, but one of the best times I've had firstly, Childerberg to date was one of the I've done.
Chilbert was awesome.
I'm saying I've done big comedy festival. Every gig I do is fun. This weekend's been magical. But there was something about Childerberg that was particularly fun.
Yeah.
But then also that hang in Philly when we did that show and then we went back to that guy's house.
Yeah.
And it felt like I was back in college at a frat party. Even though I didn't go to college, I didn't go to frat parties, but it just felt like I hadn't been in a house party in the last 20
so long,
years.
yeah.
And that was great. But here's what was going on. So we did the show and then we went to one of the guys was we're having a party at the house.
Yeah.
And it was because I'm ADD. I just kept roaming the floor. So you went down to the basement. Mike Heiss is literally in just a cloud of marijuana, and they're talking libertarian philosophy. You've never seen a room more hotbox than this. I went down there, and I'm talking, trying to read Mises, and I'm too dumb to understand it. Then I went outside. People are smoking cigars. Then you went into the other room, and they're drinking whiskey. And then the shed, it was just every room had its own energy. And it was all people that hadn't left their house in 6 months. So you also felt like it was a speakeasy vibe. We're breaking the law. We're getting together.
Yeah, I did this show in a yoga studio, and it was I don't know if it was exactly legal.
No, it was totally. We booked a yoga studio because you couldn't do
a venue.
You couldn't do shit. Yeah, because what happened was wherever we were supposed to do the show canceled. And so last minute I booked the worst place to do comedy. It was a yoga / stripper
yeah, there was poles in there.
Sounds like
Yeah.
my place.
There were
That sounds like
poles.
my kind of establishment.
Yeah, say you'd probably. I
Listen,
would assume you would own a place.
great on a
like that.
Sunday afternoon to get a
Sunday.
workout
Sunday.
in and to show up and pretend like you're gay.
What was it? Was it the pole studio and
Yes.
yoga?
Well,
Okay.
it was like a yoga studio, but you would look up and there were fold up poles on the ceiling that you could pull down and pull.
For the
dance
sake
on.
of comedy, though, I mean, there was an echo, and I'm such an idiot. I thought I was going to film a special that night.
Yeah. I mean, we filmed it. It didn't come out too bad.
No, I ended up taking the footage from the
other one.
from the New Hampshire thing. That was
Yeah.
the first year of the end of year recaps.
Yep.
Yeah, it was fun though. That was a fun night.
Yeah, it was a great night. Yeah, both. I'm glad you had me on both iterations of the end of year. It's a blast both times.
All right, because you were on the Denver one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you did that one in a lot more places too.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, that's the
How many spots did you do? So Robbie did a little end of year recap special, and it was a great fucking show because it was unique because he would do a full slideshow with it with pictures and funny drawings and things like that. And yeah, it started out 2021, and you just did 2 spots. Then 2022, you took it on the road and did all over the place.
I'm hoping this. I like the growth when you can just look back and go, oh, last year I did 3 locations. Now
And
I
then
did
this
9.
year,
Yeah, I love that. Even
Feels good.
It feels good. It just feels good to see the growth. Even if it just goes from 1 to 2
Yeah.
and you're like, this is improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing comedy so long as a total failure. That's just a little bit, like a little increment of, oh, it's better. No, so I'm hoping this year to like do it much bigger. But
Yeah.
that Denver show, I mean, that was one of the best shows. That room was cool.
I mean, there's 100+ people there.
People
all paid
showed
tickets
up.
and
That
shit.
was
Yeah.
fun. That was cool.
That was awesome. That was a great time. That was the first time I busted out my dress.
Oh yeah, can I have my dress back by the way
it's
while I'm
somewhere.
here?
I got it somewhere in here. I think it's actually on top of my.
Let's do a
dresser over
contest.
there.
Who wore
it better?
Yeah.
This is on
his
video.
ass is 100 times better than mine, man.
I do squats, no big deal.
Did you actually go to the gym today?
No, I was gonna, and I came back here, and I just kind of was like looking at my schedule and stuff, and I was kind of fucking feel like gearing up, so I just did like 50 push-ups and then took a shower.
Okay. Okay.
I'll go tomorrow though.
All right.
Yeah.
Because when you told me, like the fact that you drink and ski already, I'm like, that's pretty impressive. But then drinking,
Fucking shred, dude.
skiing a full day, and then I'm going to the gym for a full workout.
Yeah.
I was like, this is some psycho level shit.
Yeah, man, you gotta get it in. I'm a fucking busy dude. You can see my calendar on the wall and shit. I gotta I'm at the point now where I should be like scheduling out like hours of the day, but instead I'm just unorganized.
I like
and
that
just
with
hate
everything
myself.
going on, you still make time to have sex with Eddie.
Oh yeah,
And then
Eddie's
you
coming over for
schedule
2 nights.
And you schedule it in.
If Eddie Ift wants to have sex with me, I'd be like, all right, that'd be cool. I mean, he's a good looking dude. He's also maybe could give me some good connections and shit.
But does his cum taste like bleach?
Well, I don't know yet.
I bet he's got very bleachy cum.
I bet he's got a
Yeah.
face for bleachy cum.
Yeah. I can
know?
like look at a guy and just be like, that's gonna be bleachy.
Like I could clean my floor with that guy's
Yeah.
fucking load. Yeah.
When it's real
Big time
bleachy, I
bumps.
try and just get it on my lips. You know?
You just want to lighten them?
Yeah, because then you can clean it. It cures herpes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Thank God.
it helps.
Well,
It helps prolong the gaps between outbreaks.
Oh, that's good. Good thing I
Yeah.
keep taking it up my ass. That's working out great.
No, that's a good move. You fill up the rectum with, then you don't get
And then
cancer.
it just seeps out onto the rim, and all the herpes go away.
I knew this room smelled like cum.
Yes. Smells like ass herpes too.
And the color of your bed is of one that's been leaked on a lot.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's out of the frame of the shot, and I think you're a liar. So
Does this mattress go direct to floor?
yeah.
Have you ever brought a lady back to have sex with, saw that you had a mattress on the floor,
And
and,
then she
they
walked
said, no?
No.
I have.
You said no to a floor mattress?
No,
someone to
when
you.
I this is how much of a dumbass I am.
Mm-hmm.
When this is actually like a decent mattress. When I first moved to New York City,
Badass mattress. I fucking love this thing.
when I first moved to New York City, I was trying to do comedy, and I had like a decent sales job, and I had like just a shitty mattress on the floor.
Yeah.
And I had this idea in my head that I was not going to buy, like, as motivation to do better in comedy, I was not going to buy myself a good bed. Even though I could afford it, I was like, I'm not sleeping on a good bed until I'm making money as a comic. Now, I can
gotcha.
tell you that was a really dumb life strategy, because for a stretch of life, I was waking up every day and I couldn't believe how tired I was. And then it turns out because I had a shitty fucking mattress and I wasn't really sleeping. So it was not a winning strategy.
Nope.
It was
That's
just
the wrong way to
Just
motivate.
some fucking dumb, stupid shit in my head that like I was like, I'm not getting a comfortable bed, and I'm not like. But anyways, I had at least twice where like I was like, done deal, brought a chick back, looked at, and they're like, nope.
Like straight up, they just looked at you.
Yeah, like yeah.
They're like,
that's,
oh, I gotta go.
Yeah, you should have told me that. That's not like yeah.
Well, this is like a California king, and so it sits really high off the
Right.
floor.
And it's like a Murphy bed, how you can put it up into the cabinets.
Dude, it worked out. I was actually gonna build a Murphy bed, and
They're badass.
I drove all the way to Denver just to pick up these two guys here.
To make it like a Murphy bed.
To make it like a Murphy bed, and then I put it in the room, and I realized that it just fits perfectly.
Why do more work than
Yeah,
you need
I was
to
like, I
do?
don't need to build shit. I'm not handy. I'll just fucking cram it up there. So it works great. So I just flip this
You
thing
have a
up.
face like you should know carpentry.
Thank you. Is it the Ron Swanson mustache?
It's the whole thing. Yeah.
Because Nick Offerman is like a carpenter thing.
I feel like everything you do, you look like you could do it for some reason. Like
It's
you
just a
just
confident
like
face.
like
No, if he was a pilot, I'd be like, fuck. Or my
That was-
financial
Honestly, I
advisor.
feel like financial advisor.
Financial
no way.
advisor, I'd be like, nah, we're going
I
with
feel like
another guy.
I feel like the mustache on the pilots is pretty popular though.
Maybe.
It's like a cop thing. It's the aviators.
I don't
know
pay
what
enough
mean?
attention to pilots. Like when they come out of the plane, I'm so mad about having to sit. I'm like, just get the. I don't fucking care. Fuck you and your fucking job.
You're so mad just because
I'm
you had to
not.
sit
I'm
on a
not
plane?
happy with you. Like I'm not proud of what you did here.
It's like fuck you. It's all computers now anyway.
No, you should be sitting there in shame that you make money off of me being tortured in this back seat. Like you're not on
while
time.
they're up there getting a blowjob, basically.
Yeah.
Probably.
While they're drinking coffee.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
If I was a pilot, I'd jerk off in up there with my other co-pilot.
Well,
See
I was
who
about to
finished
say
first.
it really depends on
Jerk
how
each
much you
other off.
trust your
Your
co-pilot.
co-pilot.
If you're like halfway through and you look at him, you're like, all right,
There's for sure.
you look that way, I look this way. Put it in your
No one
headphones.
will know.
That job is so corporate. There's definitely cameras in
You
every
open it up and all the
cockpit.
flight attendants are like,
Is
why does
there?
it smell like
Well, because
bleach?
they got the black box in case anything goes wrong. The
Yeah.
last thing you want to do is they check the black box and they just it's you and the other guy jerking off.
Maybe they have cum words. Maybe they have code words.
Code words for
yeah.
cum. They're like,
Except that you hear in the background.
you just they say, hey, we need to bleach this cockpit, and the guy's like, Roger that. And it's kind of dirty in here. I think we could use some bleach. Don't you think so, Ray? Yeah, I think so. I think so, Dave. Yeah. Anywho.
So what do you normally do on the show? I feel like I brought a lot of cum energy to
Yeah, I mean,
this
you brought a
episode.
lot of
All
cum
the
energy.
cum.
I'm gonna say, I mean, we usually just go off on tangents, but not so much cum energy
Right.
normally. Normally, we just kind of do a recap and then just talk about whatever else comes up. I mean, we were skiing a lot. How'd you like the ski? Both of you guys skied. You skied one day. Robbie skied two. What do you guys think about the mountain and how
I
that
liked
went?
it. It was my first time skiing Steamboat.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah?
I would have preferred it not so slushy or whatever, but I was happy. It was so nice. It was
Yeah,
warm.
the weather was great.
You got basically naked.
yeah,
like-
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Not as
We
naked
all
as you.
appreciated that.
Well, that was a side story. During the convention, I had to do an auction. It was my first time being an auctioneer, which
Okay.
was actually a ton of fun, except for I fucked up because it was so unorganized. I was,
1,000, 2,000 free.
We did it at the
this
wrong
guy gets
time.
it for free.
We did it at the wrong
You'll
time.
blow me? Yeah, we did it at the wrong
Should have
time.
been before Dave.
So yeah, so I came up and I did about 15 minutes of stand up,
Right.
and then I introduced Dave, and then after Dave got done, then they're like, "Let's have this auction," except for
People wanted to go see Dave.
yeah.
and,
oh
like,
my
So we're
god.
talking about Dave
they,
Smith,
Like,
who-
just crowd around
we
him.
did.
Like,
It was weird. Like I never. So
it was all boys, all men too. They're like,
yeah, it's like it was like he went to the back of the room and it was just like half the people left and they were like,
Right.
Dave, talk to me, and like the noise level just went up,
Right.
and so I was like, who wants to bid on these decorative barn tiles? And like half the room was like, what? And on top of that, we had a deaf sound guy, which didn't help. Literally,
he's deaf?
he
just
had
in
a
the back
hearing
room.
aid in.
What?
Seriously, I fucking.
Oh my god, that's so libertarian.
So okay, so the beginning of the day, we're there for business and shit, and I hang out and do that. And they always want me to introduce somebody because I'll just fucking make a joke
Right.
out of it. I introduced Jacob, who was at the show last night.
you endorse? Wasn't that kind of an endorsement or?
Yeah, it's like you nominate someone, and so I nominated him, and I go up to the mic, and as soon as I touch it, I'm like, hey. From a good 8 inches away, and the whole room is like boom. And I was like, whoa, this microphone is way too fucking loud. And so he turned it down, and I finished my nomination. And then later in the day, we're getting ready for the show, and so I go up to him, and I was like, hey, I'm a pretty loud guy. You could turn the volume down. from
He's
where
like,
it was."
what?
Yeah. Like, sounds good. And so he turned it off.
Yeah,
I
your
was-
sound was fucked during your shit.
I was basically doing it a cappella the entire time. Just nothing. And so I was in there screaming into the void, and then after Dave gets off, everyone's distracted. I'm trying to auctioneer, but I'm just like scream auctioneering because the guy still won't give me any volume. And one of the auctioneer items, they're like, was a basket full of a bunch of random things. And I'm reading off this list, and I was like, it's got two like whatever, like gift baskets, some like gift cards, whatever, and a nude picture.
I think it said artistic or something.
I don't know if it said that. I mean, you'd like to think it
You
said.
could see the nude picture.
Well, it was funny because I just like read that off, and then like as they're going, I'm like, hey, and I'm like trying to sell it and making shit up, and then someone just comes behind me and just shoves a picture in my face, and I was like, yep, those are boobs. And it was Jessica's boobs.
That was Forrest. That's the picture that got the original Forrest Mommy handle banned.
We got banned from Twitter.
It was my original one, and it was fine like at the beginning, and then this
Back
time
when Twitter was cool.
Back when Twitter
which was only
cool.
like a year and a half difference.
Yeah, Jack Dorsey. Fucking what's wrong
And you
with
can
titties?
post whatever in the time, like you can literally have like the most disgusting tranny porn ever you've seen in your life will come through in your timelines. At least mine. I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah,
like
I'm sure you watch.
you can't have it in the profile picture. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
It was whatever. Yeah. I'm back. I have more followers than I did then. So
Matt, how many Twitter followers do you got?
I'm like 18.5.
18.5.
As Desert Daddy.
It's more than Robbie, but I don't want to rub it in. Just kidding, guys.
How many do you have on Twitter?
I'm coming up on 15.
Coming up on-
You should have way
Okay.
more. You
It is what
should.
it is.
That's
Show,
pretty
show
good.
your boobs.
Even yeah. So dump that dick out.
I got a
dude.
decent rack, you know. Maybe
Yeah, you
maybe that's
do.
what I got to do. Got to
I'd
get
check
out
them
into the
titties out.
forest and start showing off these titties.
I'll take the photos.
All right, done deal. Let's
Done.
do it.
They'll be so artistic. It's gonna be great. No, I don't use Twitter. I only use Facebook and Instagram. But I will say, ever since we did Pork Fest last year, I get probably 10 to 25 Facebook friend requests a week.
Just from Facebook, I don't deal with at all.
Well, it's I don't know. It's just so it's like a mutual friend thing where so many people are just like, oh, I see that you're friends with so and so, I'll request you.
That's why I
I
got off
assume.
Facebook
The
because there's too many freaks.
here's the problem with
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook is like when you go to a party and you're looking forward to the party, and then you find out that your aunt's there, and you're like, shit, I can't drink here. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Get naked.
yeah, I can't get. It's like
Like
you
I was
think-
gonna eat these mushrooms,
So
but now I
that's the
can't.
problem. It's like my grandma's on Facebook. Like there's just all the people that like you don't want to interact with in that way. It's like if I'm putting up on morning rants, like I don't want my grandma seeing that shit. You know what I mean? So it like that's kind of what made Facebook so not.
And the
cool.
strangers who add you now have access to your family.
All
Like
your
they know who
shit.
your family
Yeah,
is and
it's
stuff. I
too
didn't like
much.
that.
I never liked Facebook.
Oh,
Twitter.
I loved it at first.
Oh, really? I was always, I don't know. Social media, I've gotten more sucked in by doing, because, like, you use it as a promotional tool.
Yeah,
So
that's the
I've
only reason
gotten-
I have it
Yeah.
anymore. Is a promotional tool, but I hate. It drives me nuts because I'm like a scroller. Like I'll
No,
just be
I
like,
get sucked
"Fuck,
in. I got an addictive
Yeah.
personality, so I'd rather
Yeah.
not. Like, Instagram, there's no good in it. Twitter's fun because, like, you can run a joke and, like, you can read an article, put out the joke, get instant feedback.
Yeah.
And then I also find people tweet articles at me that are good. Sometimes I can look through it, fill
The
up a
news is more
show.
instant on Twitter
Yeah, the
compared to
news-
like Facebook.
And sometimes the news coverage that you get on Twitter is better than
Real
in
life,
other
yeah.
locations. Like you'll see footage of an actual event taking place in real time.
like that guy who drove into the parade.
That there's
I
no
saw that
media
as it
coverage of.
happened.
Whoa,
Basically,
really?
Yeah.
I need to get. I guess I need to just spend more time on Twitter. I
you
don't
should. It's where all
I
the
don't
cool
know.
people are.
know. It's what the cool kids are doing.
Just kidding.
I thought they were all.
You can
on,
just say so much shit on there. That's what I like about it.
I thought they were all on Gitter or whatever. What's the
done.
fucking?
If
new
if
one?
I'm done off of Twitter, then I'm not doing fucking anything else. Because you have to download a new app every fucking week.
It's too
I'm
much.
not doing it.
Yeah, I feel like right now there's a scramble for like a competitor, and like you just gotta give it a minute, and one's gonna rise to the top. It'll be probably a year. Or two.
TikTok, I don't touch. You guys on the TikTok?
Never once.
Yeah, I haven't
Never
touched
once.
So
TikTok.
I've heard I've never been on it, but
I've heard it's good for posting comedy clips.
well, you get way more views because
but it's bullshit. That's all. It's just Chinese bullshit.
it's just
That's the thing.
bots
It's
and
all
shit.
Chinese, and they show these videos like on Libs of TikTok all the time. And I'm like, how do we know that's not just the Chinese like making us hate teachers? Even I hate teachers.
No, I don't
but-
think.
Wow, hot takes
The,
over
lib,
here.
the libs of TikTok is great. No, what happened in podcasting, and I work in podcasting advertising. I'm like, if there's an expertise in a topic,
Yeah.
it's podcast and digital advertising.
Yeah.
They created an IAB standard, which was like a new standard for quantifying podcast downloads. This was 2 years ago.
Okay.
And podcasts that were basically podcast downloads went from whatever number they were telling you to half to a third of that number. And the reason is because everyone wants engagement on their platform, and they want the advertising dollars. So the more impressions they can tell you is going on, the better.
Right.
And so when you're a young platform, that's what you do, right? It's like a lottery thing. Everyone's posting content. I'm a sucker for this too. I'm posting my content. I'm trying to be famous. I want people to like my content.
Absolutely.
The higher the download numbers, everyone's like, oh, this is the place to post content. Or, oh, I should hang out here because everyone likes me. This is not the company that is even in America. I'm telling you. I don't know exactly the ratio of how inflated it is. But by the way, even on like on YouTube, so I can't sell. There's a word impressions. Now impressions is like on a tweet you can have your impressions, which is if someone just saw your tweet versus watched it or actually read it or engaged with it. Yeah. So it's like I'm telling you, I don't know the particulars. TikTok's new and it's Chinese. They are lying about those impressions probably by a factor of 1,000. Here's the way you would figure.
Factor of 1,000?
I don't know 1,000. I'm bullshitting here.
But like a lot.
I'm just saying it's a massive. Yeah, it's not 1,000. It's definitely not 1,000. It's probably like 10 to 100.
Yeah.
The biggest thing would be if like you looked at, and I don't know the math on this, but if you looked at Dane Cook when he was on MySpace and the way that he was driving ticket sales because of his numbers on MySpace.
Yeah, he was huge early Facebook and MySpace.
So let's just say as a theoretical, here's how you would figure out. Let's say theoretically, Dane Cook had 1 million followers on MySpace, and he was able to sell out, let's say, venues the size of the Beacon Theater. We're talking about before his shows. Now, comparatively, who are the TikTok comedians with a similar following, and what size venues are they selling? That would give you a pretty good figure of, like, are these real numbers and are these real people?
Yeah.
Like, what are the actual conversions there in terms of following to, like, real engagement versus just that?
To people coming out and shit, yeah. And I know, I know that a lot of clubs and stuff will be like, oh, how many social media followers do you have? And that'll, like, that will gauge your booking and stuff.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't think TikTok is what they go off. It's more Instagram and shit now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not like, but do you
OnlyFans.
And OnlyFans. Yeah, speak for yourself.
Are you on Instagram?
I'm on it. Yeah, I'm on Instagram.
I thought you were going to
tag
say, are
you
you
in
on
something.
OnlyFans?
Oh, yeah. Fair point.
Yeah.
But I'm not on Facebook. But I still have my Instagram for now. So
for now.
I don't have much of a Facebook. I mean, an Instagram following. I've been posting clips.
Yeah.
People should like me
I
more.
scared all my normie friends off. Like they were yelling at me during the whole COVID thing. But now it's like all Liberty people on there now. So it's all good.
Nice.
But it would give me stress, and I still will post stuff and then like not look for days because I know somebody will say some like mean comment, and I'm like, I've been right the whole time. So don't even. Okay?
It's true. They I just saw Dimitri Martin came to town. He was here Thursday, and there's a venue on the edge of town called Strings, and it's like a really nice like amphitheater, and they have like shit there. And I've been emailing them for like years, and they won't fucking respond to my emails because they're dickheads.
Don't they know who you are?
Don't they know who the fuck I am? I know they know who I am, which is why it's more annoying that they won't fucking answer my emails. You dickheads. And they wanted to have a local opener, and they Drew tried to get it. And they said no because they saw Drew's tape, and fucking Drew just doesn't have. I love Drew. Don't mean to knock on Drew. Drew just doesn't have a good tape yet, and they got David Rodriguez from Fort Collins to come up. But anyways,
that's pretty local.
Oh, yeah,
Fort Collins and Steamboat are right by each
other. I was like, I'm at the show. I'm right here. But talk about venues. I was like, people there paid anywhere between like $55 and like $100 for tickets, and it was sold out.
For
like,
Dimitri Martin?
Yeah. To be fair, Dimitri Martin fucking crushed. He was very impressive and very good. But like, talk about like venue. Like, I could have walked up there and been like, penis, and everyone would be like, ah, you know, like it was like fishing with dynamite.
I mean, that's my whole act. I've been doing comedy 11 years.
And cum is your act.
Yeah, mostly penis and cum. You just gotta like mix up.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta hit them at the right like cadence. Take awkward pauses. Let the audience know you're not gonna be doing anything other than saying penis and cum and different rhythms. Yeah. But once they get that that's what you're doing,
then they're on board and they're like, hey, I paid a lot of money for this, so I'm in. But the point I was making is this is the first time in over a year that it was the only venue I know they're like masks are required to get in, and it was like okay, but it was kind of like everyone there was like a giant understanding that was just like we're all doing this to be nice,
right?
Because like it doesn't do anything,
And that was recently, you said?
This was Thursday.
Because everything in the whole state's like dropped.
It's
basically.
literally just that venue.
Anyone who's doing it is just letting you know that they're really gay.
Not fun gay either.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, not like party boy gay.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's like you're committed to being like just annoying. You're just like, listen.
it's a power trip.
Yeah, everyone's over this,
It
but
does seem like a power
we're gonna
trip.
take an opportunity to be annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't understand. I was like, okay, I mean, like, all right, fine. But, like, we all put on our, like, well, for one, there was a giant line outside for booze, so they could only sell booze outside.
Right.
And so there's, like, 70 people who are all, like, nut to butt in this line, no mask, you know. But to walk through the door, you put on your mask, and then we all sat down and took our masks off.
Was it the venue's decision or Dimitri's
It was,
decision?
yeah, I assume it was the venue's decision.
Because I actually got to see, what's her name? Was Liza Schlesinger?
Yeah, she's funny.
Just
I like
like
her.
recently in Denver, and it was at the Belco, which is pretty huge.
Yeah.
And there was nothing. You walk on in and you're good.
It's like real life.
Yeah, it was. That was the second comedy I've seen. It was yours and then hers, and I got
Really?
it for free. So yeah.
Yeah.
Like, apparently, people had held on to her tickets for 2 years, and that was her show
Jeez.
Whoa.
from pre-COVID, and she had like a fucking baby in the meantime, which of course, like half her set was about her baby, but whatever.
Of course it was.
And like, that sounds weird when mommy saying that, where I'm like, stop talking about your baby.
Making my ovaries ache. Come on.
No, I just want to hear it. Like it was just all about like baby, like having. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways, go on.
It's weird how people talk about what's relevant in their lives.
I know. Like we don't. I'm like opposite though. All the girls probably in the audience were like, oh, and I'm like, oh.
You're like, fuck
Get some
you.
good material.
Right? Talk about something that matters.
It's like you chose to have the kid. We know that it's annoying. That's
Yeah.
why we
I
didn't
think
do
she
it.
just wanted to excuse that she like had extra weight. She's like, no, I had a baby.
You guys, I'm not fat.
So-
It's baby weight. Was she thicker than normal?
That's how I put on these
And like, I
pounds.
mean, just like she looked like she had a baby a couple months ago. Basically, you know how
Oh,
that
right.
look. I don't know, just
A little pudge.
yeah. You got that shit stretched out for so long.
Oh, yeah. I'll stretch it out. When I had my baby, I was back to
My
shape
cooter's
right
still
away.
ruined. I used to have a
Yeah.
tight cooter. I'd be fucking dudes. I'd be like, holy shit, this is tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's
Now, I'm not gonna. I mean, we're friends, so I wasn't gonna say anything. But your cooter looks like shit.
I know.
dude.
I have to actually try and hold it closed just to create a little
my
bit of
God.
friction.
Oh please, God.
Like I work out. You know what I do? You like there's that thing in the
Kegels?
gym.
Yeah, you do the
with
leg
the
thing.
flies.
Yeah.
So I do that so that if I'm having sex, I can really wedge the lips of my
you just-
labia against his wiener,
So-
and then
yeah.
he might be able to feel a little bit of a sensation. I'm not gonna come. It's already too
no, it's too
stretched
late
out.
for you. You're fucked.
It's my cooter's
I
finished.
mean,
You're getting
right?
technically
punished.
assignment surgery. It
Yeah.
makes it hard for you.
But when I'm with a fella, I hope at least I can keep him happy so that he'll stick around. And so I just work on really creating the friction with my arms.
Yeah, dude. Nice. You're a thoughtful guy.
Ruined Cooters. That's a good band name.
We all the ruined cooters. Thank you.
Yeah, you got to be like a real punk rock operation
What
for
was
that.
what was the other band name we came up with earlier
It
today?
was a good one. I don't remember it though.
It was an animal. It was like the something.
I don't remember. It was all you.
Fuck.
If you were in a band, it should be called the Horny Otters.
Thank you. You like that sea otter joke? It's good. It was one of our guys who was doing open mics for a minute, like told me that. He's like, you're like a frat boy and a sea otter. And I was like, fuck, you're right.
You really do.
I do. Especially if I'm rocking.
Like sea otters when they swim though, it's like so cute. They like lay on their back and they bring the
And-
food up and
and they have like a little like pocket and they like have a rock and they like smash shellfish and
they're
they eat
really
it.
smart.
Yeah, and then they rape everything. Did you know that?
Well, who doesn't?
Well,
Yeah, like, who doesn't? Can't hold that against men, you know?
sounds to me like otters are just more honest.
They're just doing it all out in the open.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they'll like kill each other and then just like bang the dead otter. It's disgusting.
Well,
Fucking
I like to
wild.
club them to keep them even.
Yeah,
Just
well, you
to
want
keep them in their place.
just fucking
Yeah, and
Yeah.
people are like, "Why are you clubbing that otter?" I'd be like, "It just raped another otter.
Yeah.
I'm giving justice."
and they're like, better question, why are you fucking that dead otter?
Oh, it's still warm.
Yeah, they're like, shut up, the fur is soft. This is for me. It has a little pocket. I took the stone out.
Wait, otters are different. Are otters baby seals? Or do I
No,
have that
otters
wrong?
are like a whole animal.
Oh, so people don't club otters. It's
But-
seals.
No, but I'm sure somebody's clubbed an otter before.
you can club it out. But that reminds me.
Do they make specific clubs for it? Is there like a store you can go to and really pick one out that's like
Yeah, like they're
top of the line?
that's the only dance clubs I go to are the ones where they have otters. But no, I don't know. Maybe they specialize. But on your bit, I didn't realize so many people confuse otters with seals. Because when I did that show in Fresno, I did the joke. I was like, I look like a sea otter. And the guy in the front goes, "Ort, ort, ort."
You're like, that's a seal, you idiot.
Yeah, I just like stopped the whole show and I was like, what? Like, the fuck did you just say to me? I was like, I know California public schools are terrible, but what the hell, dude?
No, unless you're watching like old school Animal Planet, who knows the difference between otters and seals?
I know.
Yeah, but that's like
Well, for one,
not
I'm
one's
from the
relevant.
forest. I'm just kidding.
they're literally called river otters and they live in rivers, and seals live in the ocean.
I'm
So
not
that's
saying that you're
one.
not making sense.
Can you picture an otter? Can you picture an otter in your
Tell me
head?
what an otter looks like.
It looks kind of like a weasel, but bigger.
Yeah,
It kind of looks like the Warlax.
From
What's
the time
difference
machine?
between a woodchuck
Wait,
and an
no.
otter?
What's the name? The fucking
Ewoks?
no.
I'm thinking of
the
a
Dr.
beaver.
Seuss book.
Beavers are the ones that build the
Who
dams.
saves
Yeah,
the
beavers
trees.
build the
Yeah,
dam.
beavers
Oh,
build dams.
Lorax.
The Lorax. Thank you. I said Warlax.
What do otters do?
Lorax.
They
s-
swim around and they're cute.
and they fuck each other. Like they fuck everything.
Okay.
They'll live by beavers and stuff. Like it's similar,
They
but they're
fuck the
like more
beavers?
I don't
like
have my phone on me. I was just gonna go Google I can't talk apparently. I was gonna Google a sea otter, so you know. And then also
Or a
the
river
Lorax.
otter.
Or a river otter.
Seals are black. They got
I
like
otter look
whiskers.
that
Well,
up.
you don't gotta be all racist about it, but yeah, they got they're like dogs of the sea, are the seals.
Okay.
They're like small walleye.
And what's a sea lion then?
cute they are.
A sea lion? So that's a river otter or a sea otter, I guess. they're
I
the
just
same.
did otters.
Here's an otter. I guess we'll never know. It's also a term for a small but hairy gay guy.
Otters?
Like
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you hear how like gay people had to stop with the slave and master thing, or kink people too?
I didn't
Because
even-
slave and master is obviously racist and stuff. So then they were making up new words like animal words. They're like puppy kitty or something like that. So
Oh.
just weird facts in case you wanted to know about that.
That was.
But slave and master
very
is
insightful.
out. It's out.
I didn't even know that was ever in.
Yeah, right.
Shut up. Don't blow my cover here, dude. Got a reputation. All right, so now
Can you picture it? No, it's not a seal.
I've learned so much tonight.
This is the David Attenborough right here.
yeah, right.
What was that guy's name?
Matt Newland,
Matt
he's
Newland.
the regular co-host of the show. Matt did a great job last
He was
night.
hilarious.
Yeah, Matt's really good.
Do you do that every Friday and Saturday?
No, I do roughly every other.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
bad.
No, we do about on average 2 shows a month. It just, I mean, the problem is like it's a good thing and a bad thing. So with Schmiggities, this is the deal for anyone who wants to know the inside baseball. The deal with Schmiggities is they have bands every weekend, but they always come on at like 10.
Yeah, so you're the 8 o'clock show.
Yeah, and so it's like,
Yeah.
hey, you're not doing anything before then,
Right.
and you have a stage. So why don't I just sell tickets
Right.
and then you take all the booze sales? And they're like, totally fine, because it's basically free money that they
Right.
would have had anyways. But sometimes that there's bands that want to go on early. The bands are just sometimes cunts.
Right.
Like I was
divas.
I fucking like we came in yesterday and I saw it was a DJ and I was like, thank God it's a fucking DJ, because some of these bands they'll be doing sound checks up until like 7:15. I'm like, doors open at 7, guys. You need to fucking get off the goddamn stage, and they won't do it. Or other ones are like, we demand to go on earlier, and they'll be like, the venue just caves and it's like, yeah, we have to do whatever they fucking say, and I'm like, sweet. And so I have to start earlier. I'll start like 7:30 or something like that, even though I have
Right.
posters that say 8 and shit.
Right.
And then they're just cunts about space. Like, there's so much less space because there's like a whole drum set, and like
Right.
some of these things are like wannabe orchestras, and they've got like 27 different things. And like where I'm standing in like this like a phone booth, like, hey guys, want to see me act out this bit? Like, even though I can't
Yeah, it's not
move.
great. I like. And you gotta roll with the punches, but even Friday night there were like mic stands between you and the crowd.
Yeah,
So there is a little bit of like a barrier.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's distracting, and like sometimes when there's a lot of stuff, we'll just take like curtains and throw it on shit,
Right.
so it's not so bad. But
Who made
Yeah.
the table joke? Was that you? We were
No,
like,
I
a
made-
DJ needs a table. Who
That
is
was the
that?
It's
guy
probably
before,
Matt.
yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it back? He's like, they
Yeah.
just need a table.
Oh, here's a table. I was gonna make fun of the DJ setup, but
I made-
Oh, you
I
did
forgot.
about the button.
No, I made the
pushers.
joke that they for sure just press play and then they're sitting there
Yeah,
like.
that's what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
It's like all these people are gonna pay to watch some chick play her iPod
Yeah.
later tonight, and I have to stand next to this table now because of it.
But that's like a universal in life that you always assume other people don't work hard at their jobs.
Sure.
Like the second you have to do it, it seems really tough. But like when it's somebody else's, you're like, what do they do? You
I
know?
do know some like girls who try to be hot DJs, but they would
Okay.
have someone else mix the music, and
So they're just up there,
yeah.
being like,
they're holding the.
They're like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
yeah, just
I'm
pretending.
like, you don't even
Yeah.
know. Like,
That
whatever.
happens a
I
lot.
don't judge. It's all good.
I mean, hey, fucking good for that chick last
If you
night.
make money off of it, whatever.
I was hoping she'd be there when I was like, hey, the bartender
hot
thinks you're
one?
hot. Yeah. They say she was hot. But
Yeah,
I didn't
picture.
see
Let's
her.
see what she looks like. Let's judge this.
Yeah, what was her
bitch.
name? Something.
Her name was Maddie O'Neill.
Maddie. That's right.
Maddie. Maddie O'Neill.
All right, we're gonna judge her on a 1 to 10 scale.
All right.
I can't see that spot. Where are we at time wise right now?
Oh. Yeah.
Are we over an hour?
Where does it say?
On the top.
It's at 50. It's hitting 55
All
right
right.
now.
We'll wrap it up in a few then. But yeah, let's fucking
like
judge
blonde.
this Maddie O'Neill.
Oh wait. Okay, yeah. Look, I'll give my number in a minute. Let me figure it out.
Oh, I also want to so I had a botched Tinder date. And now that there's a lady
This is
on the
really
podcast.
this is really getting to you.
It really
why,
is.
Why are you so annoyed by it?
Well, I just think it's funny for
Botch
one.
sounds like diabolical, like it was on purpose. Like
no,
someone tried to be bad.
No, botched like it just I fucked it up.
Oh.
Or it was fucked up. But it's not so much gonna be. I just think it's funny, and I think it'd be a good conversation starter.
All right.
All right. Well, so did you find Maddie O'Neill?
I ended up on the wrong page. I don't know.
I ended up on OnlyFans. Someone called Forrest Mommy had her tits out here.
I wish, man. I am
All right,
monetized
so
on Twitter.
walk
by the
us
way.
through this from the beginning.
Okay.
Can we look at a picture of this chick so we get a little reference?
Oh.
She's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Can we get a little
She's like
reference?
mountain blonde cute.
Yeah, she's a kitty. So here's the thing.
How much conversation was made online before you went into the date? Give us walk
a
us through the
bunch.
whole thing.
All right. So here's how it goes into my dating
Make a
life.
long
'Cause
story long.
I'm gonna
So
make a long
you're
story
swiping.
excruciatingly long. So I'm swiping.
And you're like, listen, usually I'm an otter. I'm only into gay dudes, but
Yeah.
you're special.
But I was like, all right, I'll try vagina, I
Right.
guess. And she was like, okay. And so I met this girl, and like it was like a week or so went by because I was out of town doing stuff, and I was like, oh,
Just being super cool.
just
letting her
being
know,
so fucking
hey, I'm just out on the road being
famous.
fucking cool.
Yeah, I
Did
was like,
you say famous?
I actually no, I did as a joke. I messaged her back, and I was like, oh, I didn't see your message because I was too busy being out of town, famous. And she was like, okay, and then we started like texting back and forth for like a couple of days, and then St. Patty's Day hits. And we're trying to hang out all day.
Is it good conversation? I'm not good with texting with people.
Oh God, it's so bad.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
No flow.
I mean, like I'm cool with like texting with people in general, but like the blind date Tinder text is always like all you do is you're like fuck. Is that right?
Everyone's
Is
trying to
that
be quirky,
I
funny,
feel like my
smart.
comment it just doesn't work. It doesn't translate.
Generally speaking, I agree.
Just
and I'm
send
like,
dick.
fuck.
Just send
What?
dick pics.
Just send dick pics?
Yeah.
You know what? I haven't tried that. Maybe that's the
Just
improvement I
fucking
gotta
Telling
make.
ya.
Yeah.
But it actually was going good because I was messaging her and I was telling her about this like fucking weird dude I saw at the gym, and we were making jokes back and forth. There's this
Right.
dude who was hitting the punching bag. And it's like weird when you're like not a boxing gym and people hit the punching bag because they're always fucking psychos. And this guy was like screaming, and he literally was throwing knees at this punching bag, and he said, "Pull out your balls!" as he was doing it. I heard him say it, and I was literally next to him. It was like a yoga room, and I was like doing abs, and I was like, "What the fuck did you just say?" Anyways, but I messaged her that,
Did
and
he
we
then
laughed
start-
at this guy's
Did he
expense.
start like sucking off the bag?
Yeah,
Like
it's like,
that
yeah.
was yeah.
It's like, fuck you, Dad. And he starts licking the bottom of the bag. But, so, anyways, so then I'm finally like, hey, let's actually meet up. Well, on St. Patty's Day, she like
Right.
drunk called me and like tried to come here and like hook up.
To the house?
Yeah.
First time to meet at all in
Yeah.
person?
Yeah,
So you-
but she was too
Whoa.
hammered and like couldn't make it. But if she
Whoa.
would have came, she would have got
Hot.
that fucking hard dick, and then this wouldn't be a conversation.
That's when you walk over there.
Yeah, fucking. It was a disaster.
Yeah,
with
why
St.
didn't you meet her
Patty's Day.
halfway?
Because it was St. Patty's Day. It was a
That's
disaster.
true.
She was like, I
Everything-
hate it. Like, I was in bed and she's like,
So she
I'm
was already
coming
blowing
over.
someone, and
I-
you could have fit your dick in her mouth too.
Oh, probably. She's got one like a fucking, like a whale shark. She could just inhale everything in the neighborhood. But anyways, so like a couple days go by, and I'm like, hey, let's finally go get a drink. I want to see you in person. She's like, right on. And so we go to Mountain Tap, which is a bar down here, and we're hanging out, having a good time. It was one of these rare instances where she was better looking than her profile. Like normally you're like, fuck,
rare.
what's gonna show up?
Here's what typically happens. There's 5 pictures, and you imagine that they're gonna look as good as their best picture.
Yeah.
And they look a little bit worse than their worst picture. But then what's also great about it is that if you were to just show me the worst picture and their best picture, you would go, these are 2 different people.
Right.
Like they don't even look like the same person. But you get excited about that best picture. You're like, that's the person I'm
That's
going
always
on a
the
date
lead
with.
one. And
Yeah.
if you're getting too hasty, then you just go on that
Yeah.
one.
But
Right.
occasionally some people just aren't photogenic, and you're like, all right.
And then they show up and you're like, oh, you're better looking
Yeah.
in person. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. But anyways, that happened. So we go in and we're talking, we're chilling, having a good time, getting to know each other. Turns out she lived like a fucking couple miles down from me in Ohio for like a while in her life, which is like wild because it's way small township. Things are going well. And then Jared, who's my roommate, comes out from behind the bar. And
Is this that terrible beer place you made us go to 3 nights in a row?
no, that place used to be good. Now it's just good. It's like a dance club that's like not a dance club. But this is Mountain Tap. It's a brewery, and it has like really good pizza and shit. So I'm like, let's go there. And I like know everybody there. I'm like, we'll get hooked up. So we go there, and we're shooting the shit. Everything's going well, getting to know each other. And then Jared comes out from behind the bar, and he makes a comment because I messaged him. There's a friend that I know. I don't want to give out. We're talking about fucking jizz stories. So this friend that I know, and I'm going to be as vague as possible as to
Bleach
not
is jizz in
expose
the
who he
game.
is. It's probably, but we might know because it's in his pants. So we have a friend that I know who's an older guy, but also is still a virgin. And we found out, I'm trying to cut this down as short as possible. We found out that he has been going to strip clubs for the last like 5-10 years of his life and blowing tons of money just so he can get lap dances, and then he jizzes in his pants.
Sunday.
Yeah, you're like
Typical.
all the time.
Sunday afternoon.
But this is like
The
his
Sunday
thing.
special.
Yeah, it's a special. It's the Bleach special.
The women who
Is it-
couldn't make enough money
Does he
over the
jizz
weekend.
while he's getting the lap dance or waits till afterwards?
No, like while is it like this is
Okay.
like he's addicted to this because he's a
Is
very
wearing
religious
basketball
dude.
shorts or like like
You
soft
can't get in
shorts?
with
I think it's a
basketball
sweatpants.
shorts.
Yeah,
thing.
well,
Sweatpants.
from
on the
what I
strip
know,
club.
yeah, it depends on the
Depends on
club.
the strip club. That's a seedy ass place if you can show up in your basketball
I'm
shorts.
telling
And they'll be
you.
like, "Fine, come on
No,
in."
usually you got to get pants that look like they're real pants, but they're not.
Like the stretchy jeans.
yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
So I'm not. I was like, "You wear sweatpants?" He was like, "Yeah." And so I don't know how nice the sweatpants are. But this
Gotta
guy's
make sure
thing
they're
is
black.
Scrubs.
so
Scrubs
people
would be a
can't-
good call.
Scrubs, like a
Ooh,
black
scrubs.
Yeah.
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 Okay. All right.
Forrest Mommy. Here
I don't
with
know
the
about
tips.
black
My friend
scrubs.
makes scrubs. She has scrub stores.
I'd
so I
probably
know
go
all the
white
scrubs.
scrubs, not black scrubs, because
No.
You can do any
black.
color. And Carhartt makes scrubs now. I mean,
No, because you don't want everyone to see the jizz.
you don't
want
want to see the oyster.
Yeah,
shit.
or the
else are
wetness.
gonna-
You see
yeah,
the
you're gonna see the
wetness on
wetness.
them.
You got to go black.
So yeah, scrubs would suck. They'd have to be black.
You
That
gotta
was a
get
bad
black ones.
idea. Why did you
Yeah.
cheer that on?
No, it's a great idea. I know the dynamics of friction.
Very well versed in
I've ran the
physics.
math in my head when you mentioned scrubs. I was like, why haven't I done that?
I'll get you some good scrubs.
All right, I'm in.
Right
Sorry,
on.
go ahead.
I'll trade you some scrubs for your dress
Okay,
back.
so
How
this
about that?
guy's out there.
So this guy, he just
Jizz in
tells
his
us all
pants
one
like
day
crazy.
that he's like, "This is
That's
my
his
thing.
jam.
It's not this shit just in my pants."
Yeah.
So I had texted Jared earlier. I was like, "Dude, I got a story about this guy." And so he's leaving the bar and he's walking away from me. And he turns around. And he's like, "I got another story." And I kind of like looked at her and I was like, "All right, well, you got to get to learn my personality at a certain point. So I'm just gonna tell you both this story." And so I told her and Jared the story of this guy jizzing in his pants all the time.
For 15 years or something.
So he said he spent like 10 grand at strip clubs and he doesn't drink there in like the course of his life. So it seemed like she took it like a champ. I'm not sure if that was it or just some other dumbass comment I made, but by the end of this date, she was like ready to run the fuck out the door.
Aww.
You know
Like
what's
I could
another-
just tell she was like fucking like, "Oh man, I really gotta go. Sure do gotta go right
You
now."
know what's a good sign that you've bombed a date is when they're insistent on splitting the bill.
She didn't insist. She was like, "I'll split it with you," and I was like, "I got it."
If they're gesturing towards splitting the bill, they don't want like the guilt on their hands of that you've paid for things.
for
They're
it.
like
and they have
never
no
gonna see
interest.
you again.
Now, some women are like very like, it's free. That's the way this thing works.
Yeah.
And like don't care. But usually, if someone's like trying, like sometimes actually women are very cool and they'll be like, "Hey, let me chip in." Like you can tell by the tone of voice that that's just a person being cool.
Right.
Other times, if there's a little bit of angst in, "Hey, let me split this," or "Hey, let me get that too," or
Like,
"Let
no,
me."
I really want to.
Yeah. If there's a little bit of insistence, you have bombed that date. That
Yeah.
lady does not like you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, she was like, "I'll split it," and I was like, "No, I got it."
Right.
And I made like a little joke. I was like, I make thousands of dollars a year. It'll be fine. And she was like, haha. So, and then it was fine. And then we
Right.
left, and she doesn't want to talk to me anymore. And I was gonna show me a picture.
Right.
She
Blocked ya?
she unmatched with me on Tinder,
Right.
which I didn't even know you could do. So
Oh,
she
her
went
gist
out.
story.
I don't know if that was it. I don't know. That's what I was saying. It's fucking driving me nuts.
If she's out there listening, you should give Kyle another chance.
Give Kyle another chance. All we are saying. Or not. I don't know. If she's freaked out by a gist story, then she probably fucking sucks.
Yeah, she
anyways.
couldn't hang.
Yeah, she can't hang at all. She's a fucking dork.
Yeah, just.
Anyways. It's alright. I got other fucking totally hot babes I'm talking to.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so sweet. Was that believable? Probably not.
Yeah,
So
we've all bombed a date.
that was my first real
I
date
haven't.
bomb.
I haven't.
Fuck off.
You know, because you have something that we don't. It's called a vagina.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I pick. I
Yeah.
don't date.
There you go. You get to dictate more.
Yeah,
terms.
you're the
I'm just being
judger,
rude.
not the judgee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm not pretentious, everybody. I only play one on TV.
All right. Or on Twitter.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's pretty much all I got. You guys got any fun anecdotes to
I
add?
think you should show up to our house and just show her your wiener.
I don't see how that could backfire at all.
No, that's the closer right there.
We know what the fun part is her well, no, I won't even say it. But
I
I
had-
don't even know her real name because she had like an acronym. And I was like trying to play it cool. And I would be like, so what does it stand for? And I never asked. So I don't even know who she is.
I think the worst date I ever bombed was I went out with this chick, and at the start of the evening, she was like telling me like she like paints or whatever, and I was like, "Oh, cool. What kind of stuff do you paint?" Like she was being flirty. She's like, "Oh, you'll see later." And I was like, "Oh shit, I think I just got an invite over."
Yeah.
And then by the end of the night, it was like, "I'm paying for this bill."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
What'd you do?
Hey.
I know what I did. Looking back, I know exactly what I
What'd
did.
you do?
No, I know exactly what I did. It was like we were in the car for maybe 2 minutes, and she started telling me about this documentary she was watching. Like it was like one of like these murder whatever,
Yeah.
and I just started making fun of her about it. Like, and I like when I played it back in my head, I realized I didn't know her yet. And she
Right,
was
like
not,
when you make a racist joke in front of someone who you don't know enough yet.
Exactly.
And like it would have been cool
Well,
with
it's not a
someone
joke.
else.
That's just my opinion. So I've learned, you know, you got to
When you
keep
say
that
racist
in.
opinion,
Yeah.
yeah.
You mean when you're just talking about your perspective on life and
Were you just
people...
stating facts, scientific facts? Just kidding.
No, I can play it back because like even what I said was like accurate and funny because like what she had brought to the table was fucking weird.
Yeah.
But
you gotta like at that point you almost gotta like ball bust a little bit.
it was like too soon that I think like I put her on edge for the whole evening. Like you got to be careful what you say because I'll kind of.
Some people can't
Yeah.
take any
Yeah.
teasing at all, like
Right.
at all.
And it's for me, I don't know if you're the same way, but like it's very, very hard to like offend me. Like you could basically just sit here and talk shit to me for like an hour and I'd be like, oh, right, I am short and dumb. And like it'd be fine. And so sometimes I'm just like, everyone's this way. And so I'm
Right.
like, oh, that's dumb. And then they're like, shut down. You know?
But the other thing is like if you get offended by it, like I don't want to hang out with you anyways.
Yeah.
So like that,
well, that's
like,
what I'm
it
saying.
kind of
If-
goes both ways. Where it's like I don't care. It's like if you think I'm offensive, like I'm not gonna like gesture. Like that's not what I'm. You know what I mean? So it's like fuck it. I'll hang out with. There's other people I'll get along with. Like I don't need a.
If she
Like,
can't
yeah.
handle your friend's
Yeah.
cum covered the inside of his pants story, then
then
That's
she's
it.
not. She can't.
she's
stick around.
not it. She's
she'll
not
never
the
get this
one.
bleach.
That's for
Right.
sure.
She can't hear a story about his bleach, then she can't get my bleach. You know what I'm saying? All right. I think that's enough bleach talk. I think I've decided this episode's going to be called Bleach Talk with Robbie Bernstein. But yeah.
I am a connoisseur of cum, and I'm known.
Is that a connoisseur?
Yeah, and I'm known for a lot of things, and I don't feel like people have respected my true talent, which is my expertise in cum. And so I'm just thankful I was able to do your show tonight and let some of the world know how knowledgeable I am when it comes to. I can tell you. Yeah, I can tell you your diet just by a whiff. I don't even need to taste it.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got some work to do after the show then. So thanks everyone for listening. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Where can the people follow you? It's at Forrest Mommy.
Not anymore.
Well, on
they
Twitter,
took away that account.
At Twitter, it's at the Desert Daddy, and then on YouTube, I have Forrest Mommy. If you look up Forrest Mommy, you'll find it on YouTube.
Okay, but Twitter is now Desert Daddy.
The Desert Daddy.
Where's that name? Where did that one come from?
Because I had made an alt a long time ago, and I was like Forrest Mommy,
right?
Desert Daddy. Like it's like similar, but not.
Okay.
So I don't know.
And then you had that surgery.
Change it.
So
yes, all those surgeries.
Yeah,
I've gone back and forth a couple times.
Wow, you're bold moves. Like, no, Doc, I'd like to make a return.
That happens. God, that would suck.
Oh, Jesus. And Robbie the Fire.
Robbie the Fire. Check me out. Robbie the Fire. Run Your Mouth Podcast. Part of the Problem. And cum connoisseur.
I was going to say it's all about cum every
Follow
episode.
me at cum connoisseur.
Yeah. If you ever want to mail your cum in the mail to someone and just make sure that
Like
it's
anthrax.
up to speed and that I can actually detect coronavirus in your cum.
Really? Just by taste?
And I'm quicker than a PCR test and more accurate.
Yeah,
you got to wait 3 days on a PCR test, one whiff of your cum. I can let you know.
Wow, dude. Sick. That's a hell of a talent.
True talent.
Yeah, it's too bad that, like, this whole pandemic ends and it's just going to be all over for you.
I know.
One skill.
I work so hard to be able to recognize coronavirus.
Now you're gonna have to learn how to figure out AIDS and HIV.
Yeah. And the flu virus, I guess.
Well, luckily
No,
for
just
you guys, I have
AIDS.
all those
Just
things.
AIDS.
So.
Yeah, man. If you got to sniff cum to figure out if it has AIDS or not, that's a dangerous line you're playing with there. Anyways, so we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you next time. Our next show is gonna be April 8th and 9th with Eddie Ift. And we still got open mic every Tuesday and the adult spelling bee every Wednesday. So I hope to see you there. And thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Peace out.
Rain or shine, it's here to make you laugh. It's the Steamboat Comedy Podcast. It's the Steamboat Comedy Podcast.